The 11, if you want to hear them, Iraq, Afghanistan, Turkey, Pakistan, Kuwait, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkmenistan, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kyrgyzstan. There's U.S. bases in all of those. Now, let's suppose, instead of being a factor of strength, that dispersal of forces and fragmentation of forces turns into a liability. The standard response, and I confirmed this with a U.S. Navy captain of the nuclear submarine fleet this past Sunday night. He said he had been, when he was in the service, he was in a drill where the assumption was 35,000 U.S. forces are surrounded and cut off in Iran or near Iran. What do you do? Well, the thing is you fire nuclear weapons immediately. And similarly, if you do anything with Pakistan, Pakistan has nuclear weapons. So I think we've got three ways it can go nuclear. The Israelis go nuclear.
Webster, hold on. I know you've got to go, but this is too... Webster, I know you got to go. This is too important. Do a couple more minutes with us on the other side and finish up, put a bow on what you've been talking about and how this will unfold if they do strike Iran. We're on the verge of World War III, ladies and gentlemen. Webster, finishing up, you were getting up to the point of nuclear weapons being used, and the Bush administration 4 years ago said that's part of the CENTCOM attack profile if Iran responds. If Iran as much as fires an anti-aircraft weapon back at an aircraft, they're going to be nuked. Go ahead.
Again, I think you can see three ways. One of them is with this Iran-Hezbollah combination. So far, Hezbollah, as we saw in 2006, has had a counter-value strategy vis-a-vis Israel. In other words, they point these rather crude rockets at a city, Haifa, or some other place, and they hope it's going to hit something. So it's basically terror bombing of cities. But if you have more accurate missiles that can actually hit targets, you can go over to a counter-force strategy. You can target the air bases of the Israeli Air Force, and indeed I've seen things on the internet that the Israeli Air Force is ready to flee from northern Lebanon at the drop of a hat and take refuge in southern Israel because they now fear these 200 new missiles that the Hezbollah have been able to obtain. And if you had this simultaneous attack from Iran and from Hezbollah, if they were targeting Israeli Air Force airfields, including in the south of Israel, this could put Israel into a very critical situation, and naturally, as always, as we had it in Europe during the Cold War, if you're losing on the conventional plane and you have nuclear weapons, then you get a tremendous temptation to go nuclear, to escalate to the nuclear level, thinking that you can solve your problems there. So it could come through Israeli retaliation if they thought they were losing in a conventional way. And the lesson of Lebanon 2006 was that they did lose in a conventional way. Second was by the U.S. If the U.S. forces are encircled anywhere, Iraq, Afghanistan, or these total of 11 countries, then nuclear forces might be used. Well,
that's always been the default, going back to two-man teams with things like Davy Crockett tacticals.
Right, and then Pakistan, right? Anything that, if you're attacking Pakistan, you have to remember that the U.S. is deterred from directly attacking Pakistan, or should be, by the fact that Pakistan has nuclear weapons. They can defend themselves. That's why you have to do all this subversion with the help of Wikileaks and others to get the Pakistanis going. So you add this all together, there are three ways that this could go nuclear. I would also point to the fact that since I wrote this article, General Hayden, the former head of the NSA and the CIA,
he said the attack is inexorable.
He says it's inexorable, and then we have, as you point to, this very suspicious Japanese tanker explosion coming, today.
And they're now whitewashing that, saying a wave blew out a bulkhead, so who knows the truth?
It's hard to tell, but you're now in a very, very sensitive geometry, and this could happen at any point. Now, and actually, we had this national anti-war meeting in Albany, New York this past weekend, and the one thing that they did come up with, this was not a great gathering, the anti-war movement is in bad shape, but they did decide that there's a march on Washington for essentially an anti-war march run by the AFL-CIO on October 2nd. So that's obviously not going to be a very aggressive program. It's probably going to be something they try to channel into supporting Democratic candidates for Congress, obviously, but still, I think you can inject some stuff into that. It's also interesting, yesterday, the Democrats in the House voted to, there were about 102 of them, I think, who voted to end the Afghanistan war pretty much right away, which is an increase of 70 votes. So there's a gathering caucus of Democrats who are voting against Obama on one of his main issues, because he campaigned for the presidency on the idea that he was going to escalate Afghanistan, win, and he was going to track down bin Laden. So, again, my favorite slogan, you have two choices in life, get active or get radioactive. Better to get active and better to do it now.
All right, Webster Tarpley will continue to watch these ominous developments. Thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you.
All right, there he goes.